For our next presentation, the title of the talk is Run Together, Fail Alone, The Benefits of Denominations. Please welcome Chase Critser.
As the 2016 summer heat intensifies, I desperately try to carry on. Runners speed past me as I begin to fall behind. This 5K had seemed like a good idea 3 months back, but now, after putting off training and trying to squeeze in a few runs the week before, I'm not sure I'll make it out of this race alive. Not only am I unprepared, I have made a fatal mistake. The banana. Never again will I try to scarf down this treacherous fruit minutes before the race begins. I lost not only my confidence on this run, but also my breakfast. As I near the finish, I wonder how I could have better prepared or even known what not to eat. Running alone may have enabled me to choose how I prepared a race, but I lack the accountability to remain steadfast or an example of how to train properly. If I had run with a team, I would have gained accountability and community to keep me from making these mistakes. Running a race alone is like running a church alone. A church takes months, years even, to be prepared and then established. Doing this alone is extremely challenging. Some think that churches should abandon the idea of denominations in order to begin, grow, and die alone. Is the solution to join a denomination or branch out and go it alone? Non-denominational churches distinguish themselves for several reasons. A non-denominational pastor states such churches do so for spiritual independence and institutional freedom. Non-denominational churches leave the idea of establishments behind in order to become independent. They also consider themselves ecumenical, all adopting the same label. Catholics and Protestants, while greatly differing in size of government, identify by their beliefs, associating with an existing establishment. So, should churches identify or choose non-denominational independence? It is essential for all churches to associate with the formal denomination. Denominations provide accountability, community, and clarity. Clarity of beliefs is beneficial for the church. A denomination has a fixed system of beliefs that all churches must affirm in order to be a part of that denomination. Peter Leithart, a theologian and professor, writes that Christians with the same beliefs have a closer community. Denominations can provide structure and opportunities to help prevent failures in leadership as well. While all Christians have the potential to be unaware of church practices, a professor of behavioral sciences and theologian writes that, at least in their case, a reasonable idea of what they should do and believe is available for comparison. Denominational churches share beliefs with one another, giving them similarities around which to unify. Along with unity, non-denominational churches lack authentic accountability. A non-denominational pastor and theologian, Scott Thuma, admits to a lack of authority in non-denominational churches. He writes that this independence in spiritual leadership creates the potential for various abuses of authority. Denominations can provide structure and opportunities to help prevent failures in leadership. The founder of 9 Marks and theologian, Mark Dever, gives an example of denominational structures, writing that Baptists have used associations between churches to help ministers and congregations reach joint conclusions, stop controversies, and draw doctrinal boundaries. While both pastors from denominational and non-denominational churches can fall, both denominational and non-denominational churches can fall, those without the accountability structures denominations tend to provide are more likely to have moral failures, falsely interpret Scripture, and generally lead Christians astray. Some churches and leaders would disagree that it is beneficial to join a denomination. For example, Leithart writes that denominationalism is not union, it is the opposite. It is the institutionalization of division. While it may be true that denominations divide by their beliefs, this does not mean they're bad for the church. It is better to separate, yet remain at peace, than be in contention with one another and not in the same church. Denominations, not in the same church. When I run alone, if I fall, there is no one to keep me accountable. When I'm a part of a running team, I have a community of friends to support me. When I feel like giving up, their encouragement keeps me going. Running with the team brings camaraderie and accountability to keep up the painstaking training. A runner joining a running team is like a church joining a denomination. You could train and race exactly the way you choose by running solo, but it would be a lot harder and you are less likely to achieve success. It is essential for all churches to join a denomination. Denominations are essential because of the community that results from a team mentality. Thank you.